All right, Megan, we're live on video. Stand by for audio. All right, good day and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am excited because I am not bringing on a new co-host. We say this all the time. I'm bringing on new co-hosts all the time because that's right. It's the return of one of our favorite returning co-hosts, the one, the only, Dr. Megan Cannon, Ph.D. of Mind of the Athlete, our resident sports psychologist. Welcome back to the show, Megan.
Hello, Scott. It is wonderful to be here, as always.
I've been working on a new intro for you. How did I do?
It was beautiful.
Now, granted, you already have our custom intro that we do automatically, so you'll have like a double intro because we have our nice voice.
Man.
Well, because Anna Vocino did the nice professional voiceover.
I know. I heard it last time. It was cool.
Yeah. Don't you feel special?
It does. It really does. It makes me feel so welcome. So I appreciate it.
We're both drinking out of our canteens right now for the video feed.
I know. I just got a Hydro Flask water bottle, and I've been very thrilled in terms of the temperature that it keeps my beverage. I'm impressed.
It doesn't matter what the manufacturer's is. As long as here's your tip, ladies and gentlemen, it's double-walled stainless steel. So like me, I rock the Yeti. And then,
yes.
And then I just got off another podcast. So this is my, what's this fancy one called?
Oh, I remember that one.
These things. Yeah, I left at your office for like a month. I finally have it. Swell. The Swell ones. Yeah. This is one of those companies that's a for-purpose company. Like every bottle you buy, whatever their program is, whatever. So shout out to Swell. Shout out to Yeti. Shout out to Hydro Flask. And
we
FYI,
we drop names on the floor.
Exactly. Oh, something new since I talked to you last. When you go to livefuel.com right now, I have Amazon banners on there. And the cool thing is the Amazon banner changes on different pages depending on what you're on. Like, so if you're on like the health page of all the healthy podcasts, because you knew that, right? Like if you go to the podcast you probably have them on the website in a while, have you?
I did to sign up for our co-host.
Oh, that's right. Meeting. So anyway, my point is I have created an Amazon influencer page. Why? Because I don't want to monetize my show. I don't want to take on ads if I don't have to. So I was like, wait a minute. Every once in a while, we talk about really sweet gear casually. Why not people just go to my influencer page? If they click on my banner, they look for that and they like it, they buy it, I'll get a tiny little penny or two off of that, and that will eventually get paid to me. So I will not be getting rich at all. But I learned that from Vinny Tortorich. That's what he's done to move away from a lot of his ads. He's got so many viral followers. They love him so much. So that's right, ladies and gentlemen. If you love Megan and you don't have to love me, but if you like the format and you like Megan's content and you want to help me pay for literally, there's a good chunk of money that I pay to keep this going. Please click on my Amazon banner and buy something because I will get a piece of whatever you buy. You don't have to buy the stuff off my influencer page. You can just click on that and go to Amazon and buy your, I don't know, loofahs and I don't know, whatever else people buy on Amazon. What have you bought on Amazon lately?
Actually, I bought caffeinated water, a new
caffeinated water
and for my Garmin because it broke, and something it's functional Amazon.
Okay. Really. Well, there's your tip. So I'm not asking you. Now, one of the best hacks is here's two things you can do. One, I tell people, just make your homepage my website. That way, you never forget to click on the banner. But some people might not want to see livethefuel.com all the time. But I recommend it. See, because I can't do myself. I can't click on my own banner. They won't pay myself. So it's like, all right, well, I need people to do this for me. Or you click on the Amazon banner, and then because you clicked through my link, whatever that URL is, save that as your homepage. But now, see, that's risky. Every time you open your browser, you're already on Amazon. Ooh.
Oh.
That could get dangerous.
It could. It could.
Well, anyway, enough about that. Again, please support the show. So, Megan, what are we catching up on? You got a couple of topics you've been wanting to catch up with us on, and I know you got some exciting events coming up here as we're recording this. I don't know if we're going to be able to get this out in time. I'm going to try to. I got to figure it out and see if I can get you in before the event because we've got the big CrossFit listeners out there. We have the big Murph workout coming up. So
got Murph, yep.
And we always go back to our fans and friends at SYR CrossFit because they put on a really big event.
Yes, they do. It's
and
awesome.
Now,
their Murph is fun.
is one of your next speaking events actually on Murph Day?
No, it is not on Murph Day. We are
Okay.
actually meeting this Saturday.
Oh, that's right.
And so
Okay.
that's the next WOD and Learn. And so anybody that's unfamiliar with the WOD and Learns that we do over at SYR CrossFit, it is an open workout to anybody who would like to join, a nice Saturday morning partner workout. And then I come in and we'll give a little talk, changing content areas all the time. And this week we are going to be talking about body image. So
With
I'm
that,
really excited about that one.
so I've attended your presentations, and I would say in the past year and a half, you've definitely presented on body image before.
Erin and I, our nutritionist, she and I did, I think, something on body image in 2016. And the only reason I know that is because the Slide Master had the year on it. And so I was like, ooh, it's been a while. We are
And
busting the rust off of it and changing it up. I was working on it earlier today, making a lot of changes, different format.
well, that's when
So
I
I'm
met you.
excited. That is. Yeah,
Yeah.
well, at the Starbucks, but I think
Well,
that
I
was
met you at Starbucks, but I
after.
attended the joint event with you and
Yep,
Aaron. That was my
that was
first
right.
event that I attended. So,
The first WOD and Learn. Look at
yeah.
that.
Which, by the way, one of these days, best practice, you need to video that
We should.
and put it on your YouTube channel
That's an excellent idea.
because that's content. I mean, you're already standing there, you're already presenting, you're already teaching people. Again, just sorry, marketing idea. We'll table that one for after our chat today because we have other stuff to chat about anyway. But anyway, you're already there. Like tripod and an iPhone, put an iPhone charger on it, you're good to go. So there's another hack, ladies and gentlemen. You can do a lot of video work just with your iPhone. Don't go out and buy expensive
Just
equipment.
knowing things.
Yeah. So anyway, body image.
Body image.
Is that what we're going with today?
You know what?
I think it's
Let's
important.
do it. I think it's really important because you know what? There is a lot of body dissatisfaction out there, and it's a shame. I think it's one of those areas that people are constantly just beating themselves up about. And there's so many reasons why when that factor into body image, and it's an area that a lot of people struggle with. And it's, although I think a lot of people, when your automatic thought when you hear body image, you may gravitate more in the female direction. There is also, it's equally as relevant of a topic for men.
Well, actually, I see. That's why I keep thinking you might have presented on this before, because unless I'm just photographically memorized back to that amazing presentation in 2016, because I remember you presenting, or we talked about, maybe it was our podcast then, we talked about athlete body image. I remember that being part of our chat.
Yeah.
Maybe it was a podcast because we have you on so often.
It's all blending together. Conversations, I know.
We do. But this is important, right? Like people think, oh, athletes or physique models, they don't have body image. Like, actually, I would think if you were a physique model, you probably have some really bad body image issues. I don't know if you can you reinforce that? I don't know.
I don't know in that population specifically, but there's, in terms of body image, there's different slants to it, depending on what area you fall in. Typically, or the I would say the more norm in terms of female body image, because of this thin ideal that is kind of constantly we're exposed to in our culture. The female, there's that the body image and the desire to be thin is really the push there. Then you hop over to the men's side, and we're finding they have their body image is the expectation of being bigger and stronger and being more muscular and that being associated more masculine. And so for this opposite of this constant drive to become bigger, so there's that as well, which is really interesting. Then in terms of the athletes, there's for the men, obviously very similar path. For the females, it's a really interesting thing. Typically a college living really becomes a larger role. Now in athletics, people are training, living with things younger. It's really that college transition. I mean, they're lifting as a very scheduled program towards their sport. So a lot of female bodies become stronger, and this is also we have also world as well. So they become stronger. So those are the right way to put on weight that again can be against that thin ideal that culturally we have. There's these strong bodies that are in another area. The athletes in that area of.
The first person I'm thinking of right now is a good friend. I don't know if I met him. He never comes to SYR. He does extreme adoration, close to CNF in Pennsylvania. The other two CrossFit gyms, but his name is but he's a cool teacher. He obviously, and he's one of those Lululemon masters in that video. So I will say, the past year and a half, I've really observed him change his personal brand, so to speak, and focus on mindset. He's incorporated a lot more yoga. He actually does like mindset meditation stuff now. For CrossFit, this Shane's wrong SOB. I will say that. So on top is that he was Howard College. So Shane's this short, stout, short-looking, bald, but guy that can move a lot of weight. Now, he's still fit. He's always a strong guy. So it's interesting about his whole size and dimension. But I don't think he's the guy who's looking to try and go all lean and cut. Like, he's fine. He's like, I don't need to be cut. He did admit he would lose some of the fluff, right? So
Who knows? That's everybody's relation. But it's definitely an interesting area, and that's where you dive deeper into the topic of content of body image. That, like I said earlier, that automatic thought is so much associated with like women wanting to be smaller. But then when you pull back the curtain, there's other layers that go into it. A lot of things that really impact where our body image comes from. Because we have our like societal beauty ideals, and our culture, how we value it, which ultimately impacts the media that we're exposed to. It impacts family's perspective and their ideas of body image, which in that home that you grow in, or what you're exposed to in that way, you get those notions. And then our friends, our peers. You think of the influence. You spend so much time with friends, and so you have this kind of Bermuda triangle of different things, but it does all back to just the culture in our society and the messages that were sent. And we just get it from a whole bunch of different channels, close from our family and friends, and then also through what we're seeing on TV and hearing and movies and stuff. So we're kind of surrounded with all these influences that we don't really think about, but it really impacts the way we feel and view our body.
So if people are hearing this right now, whether they're a teenager, a millennial, Gen Xer, whatever, what I'm hearing is it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter about the sex. It doesn't matter about the age. If anything, obviously we're seeing it happen younger, right? It's happening earlier than it has in a long time. So, I mean, you as a sports psychologist professional, like, what are you seeing more of this importance as far as the conversation happening with your younger schools you work with, like the Emmaus high school swim team I know you work with, or are you seeing it more with your collegiate level? Is it even right now? I don't know. Like, what do you got?
Yeah, it's one of those things that it's just out there. Statistically speaking, we are seeing, more body dissatisfaction at younger and younger ages, which, that's when you hear that kind of stuff, that's sad to think about. But, women overall, there's definitely a higher percentage that do struggle with that. And that's, kind of across the board in terms of all ages. But, in middle school at this point, a stat that I was reading earlier is like 40 to 70% of girls are dissatisfied already in middle school, with like 2 or more parts of their body.
Right.
You have like 30% of them actively dieting. You have just a lot of the numbers coming out where there's unhealthy eating behaviors. There's, 50% of teen girls and 30% of teen boys use unhealthy weight control behaviors, and that's all related back to ultimately they're dissatisfied, most at a point with their physical appearance. And so they're doing all these things at younger ages. And so, there's that piece of it. And then through high school, college, it's, it evolves and changes over time. And we see it in the adult world as well. And it's kind of the thing that's always around.
I see a lot of it because I remember, and I've actually talked to people, I've interviewed people too as well, like they're not to pick on one sport, but wrestling. I mean, you have to, they want you to get stronger. So kids put on weight, but then right before, a meet, they want you to cut weight. So you're on this like do-si-do roller coaster ride of being told what to do. And a lot of these kids don't know how to do it. The parents don't know how to do it. And I know how to do it, but it doesn't mean they know how to do it. And it's causing a lot of problems. It's not just a physical image issue. It's also causing other side effects, right? It's messing with your healthy gut bacteria. It's messing with your body and your mind's ability to recover. A lot of people are literally starving their mind. They wonder why kids are having a problem, studying, right?
Oh yeah. Well, and body image, it ultimately, if that's like the precipice for things and a stressor, it leads into other things. It can lead, it impacts mood. And so there's been correlations with it in depression, anxiety, a lot of connection between, really negative body image and developing eating disorders. In men, sometimes you'll see like more alcoholism, like kind of those externalizing behaviors. But then for females, definitely a more inward, and the research really suggests and supports the idea. And they've found that there really is a connection there between, negative body image and then ultimately, our mood and some of those more clinical mental health issues. And so it's really an important thing that, again, the automatic thought is always ladies just want to be thin, but when you look back behind the curtain, there's such a trickle-down effect of the impact of our negative body image on ourselves and our experience, and also on others.
So you're doing solo, right?
Yep. So this is really diving more specifically into the psychology.
I already answered my own question because, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to follow Dr. Megan Cannon, you can do so on a lot of platforms, especially Instagram. So you can find her at Dr. Megan, and then Cannon with 2 N's. But I'm currently screen sharing for our video watchers the actual flyer for Wad and Learn Body Image from the Inside Out at SYR CrossFit. And it says right on there, it's Dr. Megan Cannon. I don't see Aaron mentioned at all. So I could have answered my own question. But thank you for clarifying that. So
Yeah.
what do you think about this when it comes to the CrossFit space, right? Like you didn't start off as a big CrossFitter, but obviously you've really connected with us as a community and you're a regular at SYR like I am. And obviously, you know that I kind of live in multiple domains. I joke around all the time. I'm like, guys, I'm kind of like a CrossFit whore, pardon that term, but I do get around. I like to drop in on boxes and work out. So you and I had fun back on the Super Bowl at CrossFit Adoration in Bethlehem. So,
Yeah. Great workout.
so what do you, how do you see us applying the CrossFit space?
I think in this CrossFit space, but then also in all gyms, I think, well, in a CrossFit space, kind of circling back to that idea of when you are building strength in the way that CrossFit does in terms of the female body, there are going to be body changes where your legs are going to get larger, your arms are going to get larger, not to like the degree of, I think some people conceptualize like neck bigger than head when you start lifting weights. So obviously not to that degree, but as you add muscle, there's going to be structural changes, when things change size. And so I think in that area, it can be a challenge. And I even think back, I have this slide in my presentation. There was a point in time where I think it was Ronda Rousey, and she was on a late night show, and they photoshopped her arm.
I remember that went viral, and she told them, "Do not take my muscles away."
Right. She was like, do not do this, and so even there, like that strong female ideal embodied, like gets criticized. And so I think in the gym world, that's a little bit kind of another area where it is even more relevant for those individuals where you're building those strong bodies. But it's kind of at this point a little bit against the like thin ideal that culturally is really, that message is pushed on us. So
I'm excited about what's going to happen in our lifetime, because I do feel that my personal opinion that's shared by many people that I'm connected with is skinny is out. I'm sorry, people. I do not find runway models attractive, or those lean. Yeah. There's no muscle on the body. You look anorexic. People can criticize this episode all they want. If you are that skinny, please go eat a steak. But I mean, it's okay to be strong. Strong
is the new skinny, right? Isn't that right? the catchphrase I've heard recently? I love that.
Yeah, my fiance and I just competed together at a CrossFit competition. We were on opposite SYR teams, so we were technically against each other. And she's happy to let me know that they beat us. But they came. Our team came in 5th. Their team came in 3rd. I was like, I'm okay with finishing in the top 5. But my point is that like she's strong. Like she's not like some built like pro CrossFit athlete. She's still thin and stuff, but I mean, she's got a stronger looking back. And I'm like, well, yeah, you're lifting weights. It's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
Why do people freak out about that?
It's really embracing that. And one of the things that I like talking about when I do address body image is so frequently our brain really goes to like what we lack, right? It's like, oh, I'm not good enough for this, or I didn't get that, or it just isn't there. And so we, in terms of our body, really fixate on, well, I don't have that stomach, or I don't have this, that. And it's all of the things the don'ts that we have, rather than the cans, and what your body is capable of doing. And so it's really reframing that idea instead of focusing on, well, I can't do this, or it's not fitting right, or this and the other thing. It's like, well, wow, like I'm able to deadlift 235 pounds, or I'm able to do this. I was one time talking to this woman, and we were having this conversation, and she was in her early 60s. She had, we're having this conversation of like, what can you do with your body, and focusing on that. And so she took a couple of moments and she thought, and then all of a sudden this smile just like radiates over her face. And she was like, this weekend I carried my twin granddaughters, who were 2, up 2 flights of steps.
And how old was she?
And she was like in her early 60s. And she was like,
yeah,
wow. And I was like, so you're doing, like, we do these things with our bodies and these amazing things every day, and day in and day out, whether it's at a gym or doing something as amazing as carrying your grandchildren up the steps, and everything in between. But we just go on autopilot. We don't think about it. We don't give ourselves the credit for the things that what our body can do. But we rather fixate and focus on what we lack or can't. And so I love that reframe and challenging us to focus on the cans. And that's so relevant in the CrossFit world with the strength that's just in any box,
Yes. And I think that when people are new, and we don't have to dwell just on CrossFit. I think when people are new to a strong fit environment, a lot of people do obviously immediately. I don't care who you are. I've done it. Like there's a body image comparison, right? Like if I mean, I automatically, because I'm tall and lean, I'm like, oh man. So if I see somebody like similar to my height, I'm like, all right, well, yeah, dude, that dude definitely did a better job on his calves. But then again, you don't know what that person's background was. Maybe that person was actually overweight for many years. And I have learned that your body adapts to your size. And people, some guys with really giant calves that are tall because they were heavy before, and those calf muscles and their legs had to build some serious strength to carry that body weight around until they were able to transform their body. People don't think about that. But I was like, oh, I realized that because I got him my size. He's still about 210. I'm like 91, 95. So he still got me, but he used to be like 280, 290, and he's got these bowling ball calves. It's amazing. So
That's fascinating.
Right? Because that's something that comes back to it too. Is that I was just doing some on another podcast. I said, guys, the human is amazing. It will adapt. It will also adapt even faster with right mindset because the body follows what the mind does. And
totally.
This is something that you and I always vibe on.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's why I think it's so important for us to, even if body image isn't something we fixate on, think about constantly, but it's something we need to be aware of for that exact reason, is because we have so many messages from even, I mean, around here, for instance, you drive on the highway and there's this like the billboard, there's always like 2 in a row for like plastic surgery. Like this, like, they always have these little puns that are doing the low-key like body shame a little bit of like, oh, let me do this. Like you exist in this world, you're getting those messages just consciously just throughout your day and time. And so then these negative thoughts are just created, it's not like we're purposely trying to. And so it's so important to really just turn on that filter and be aware of just, oh wow, look at this ad for whatever burger place, and there's this supermodel in a bathing suit eating this triple burger. Like, it's probably not realistic. Like, look what's going on here. We're able to really just exist and interact with our world and have that awareness. We're able to buffer some of the impact of those messages we're sent, and taking it a step further, seeking out those positive messages. We really haven't touched on social media, but that's done a real hit to body image. And some studies kind of correlating that, but there's in a world that exists out there, there are accounts for good, and so it's seek out positive books and positive articles that you're reading. It's not like, ooh, how biggest abs. It's like how to live a healthy life and how to do this, and seeking those positive messages so that you start having a positive dialogue with yourself, and positive message yourself. It's such a huge influence on that.
Positive messaging key. Last time you did one was right around the analytics, right? We talked about a professional athlete's mindset and how they dial themselves in for that state of peak performance, right? And even imagine themselves going through a successful routine, whether it be a gymnast, a ski racer, whatever it be. And I think that's something that's, you forget the power of the mind. Again, obviously, you are on the athlete team, and this doesn't just apply to athletics. So we want you to understand this mindset piece literally applies across the board to all levels of life.
Absolutely does. All levels. It's, our mind is so powerful. It's one of the things we just kind of take granted. You train our bodies all the time. You go to the gym, you go watch, like, we don't train our brain, and it really moderates a lot of our experience. It's the quality of our thoughts are so important.
I agree. And real quick, just because I love transparency, I'm going to do a screen share again. So ladies and gentlemen, seriously, follow her on Instagram, because if you go back to January 14th, she shared a fun little video of her playing around with 235 pounds. So I don't need to play. I just want to show it because like she's actually doing what we're talking about, ladies and gentlemen. And if you see her by following her on Instagram at Dr. Megan Cannon, hello, like, you're not some big, bulky, strong person, right? You do not need to be big to be strong. It's actually one of the things that I don't like about the powerlifting space is I have friends that powerlift. I'm like, guys, like the old adage of, oh man, I got to get bigger. I got to put that weight on because I got to be able to move more weight around. I'm like, that's BS. When you watch like Olympic lifting, like some of the peak Olympic lifters are not these big, bulky people, but the sport of powerlifting, because the key movement in powerlifting is deadlifts, back squats. It's like, okay, people think you have to be big to move that weight. And I tell people all the time, like, if that's the truth, then I will not move as much weight as that other big guy over there, because I'd rather be healthy and fit than have myself risking a coronary.
Yeah, that's injury is a whole other piece of it. Yeah, but no, it's so true. And there's so many. That's why I'm fascinated whenever I go to any gym, and you just see the people working out there, and you're able to just get inspired by, like any group of people that anybody that's challenging their body to get out of its comfort zone is just so admirable, because it's in a world where I think we really thrive on comfort and the fastest way to get things done and efficiency. And that's really our culture. We're capable of avoiding uncomfortable a lot. Mm-hmm. And so at the gym, I mean, at any type of working out, you are just really making yourself uncomfortable for a period of time, and I admire everybody's ability to do that, no matter what the workout of choice is. It's a great quality, and, you got to get comfortable being uncomfortable.
Well, I mean, look at tonight, right? We were just joking around before we started recording tonight, ladies and gentlemen, that she, and we're coming to the end of this episode. This is a new 30-minute segment we're testing out because she's a busy woman, so we're going to be recording multiple shows tonight. But, our buddy Rob and obviously the rest of the coaching team at SYR decided to like drill you guys with a 50, 40, 30, 20, 10, whatever it was, workout where you had to do 3 movements 50 times, then move on to level 40, then move on to level 30. Like that's a lot of repetition. And like most of us, your body was probably still in furnace modes when you got home.
Yes,
like,
I am, yes. And so before we got here, I had to change it to get another shirt because I was just still cooling down.
Yeah, you're still cooling down.
Yeah, so I got my Magnar on.
There it is. I went to one Magnar back in 2011. So.
Do Magnar Niagara?
I hate running. I've run marathons, half marathons, and I can't stop myself. I just did a comp, which my hand is still all like ripped up. I'm still healing a little bit. I should
I see that there.
I should get post on it. I see all the tear on my skin. So the next phase is my first try in July. So
cool.
Yeah, so I have to learn this one.
I can help you.
I will be joining the Rodale Center at Seacrest because everybody says that's one of the best facilities to do. And I basically muscle a lot at the end of the pool because I remember Kristen called me out. I always used to say one weakness is swimming. She's like, one? You can just have one? And I was like, all right. But fine. Athletics-wise, I will try anything. I've done it all. I mean, I'm not limited. We're doing one next year and bring it on. But I suck at swimming. So that's the next phase.
Well, this next year, you won't look at it anymore.
That's exactly. Well, that's why I have to survive a 400-meter swim. We're going to the sprint distance out North Jersey on the So, actually, before I even had my first kettlebell competition in June. So with world champion Valerie Pulowski in Jersey. So
cool.
Yeah, that's stuff for this. So listen, this is short episode. We're going to bring some of them in. So okay, body image. How are we closing this out? How do these people that take action and realize that there's so much time to your mind make a difference? Where are we at?
I think top 2 takeaways. I'm going to do 2 instead of 1. The first is you really, really, really have to focus on and give yourself the credit for what your body can do. Whether that's in a gym, at home, anywhere you are, our bodies are fascinating, capable of doing so much. And so take your mind off autopilot and really give out that credit. And then secondly, having those filters on, being aware of the messages that are being sent so you can be ultimately a better consumer, a more educated consumer, and really choose the messages that ultimately lead to those positive thoughts.
I like it. Yeah, short, sweet, and to the point. All right, so if you have more takeaways, obviously, as I already hinted, you can follow her easily on Facebook and Instagram and everything else. But reach out to the Body Active team. That's one of the things. That's her main one, right? Everybody calls you guys, and basically they can request you or somebody else because there's a whole team over there. But obviously, you want to shout out Megan on this one.
Yep, that is that.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, Body Athlete, follow her, Dr. Megan Cannon on Instagram. Remember, again, right on the show. We try and teach every single one because I said because it does drop body. But Megan, hang tight. We're going to switch you over to another. So, ladies and gentlemen, another new quick format. LIVETHEFUEL podcast episode. Again, we heavily hit on obviously health and fitness. So I hope you took a life from that. So, mindset for all your listeners. If you want to do feeds, it'll be up on YouTube. I do all of our shows these days. And thanks for tuning in to the Fuel Show. And remember, you too can fuel. Talk to you guys again soon. That was fun. I'm going to shut the video down and we'll move on to our next episode.
Awesome. I'm going to blow my nose because I mean,